What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. In today's video, I want to take a look at an NFL insider sharing the New York Jets' latest draft details and reports. So Ian Rappaport was on the NFL Network and had a couple of noteworthy quotes about the New York Jets and their potential draft plans coming up in less than 2 weeks. We are getting that much closer. Really excited about it. So, okay, here's the first quote. Of course, a lot of talk is about quarterback, so everyone sort of wonders, are the Jets going to somehow take a quarterback at pick 7 in round 1? My sense is they probably will not. Now, it's the draft, everyone lies, who knows, but it's hard to imagine, for me, Justin Fields signing with the Jets if there was any thought of potentially taking it or that they would take a quarterback, NFL Insider Ian Rappaport said. So, not really a surprise. I think a big reason for why Justin Fields came to the New York Jets was for the opportunity. There was a very clear path for him to be the starting quarterback, and I don't believe the Jets are going to then pivot and go, okay, we're going to take someone in the first round too, actually, like a Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart. As Ian says, it's the draft, and I guess you never know, but that would come as a major surprise for me. Part 2 to this quote is, I expect them to build around Justin Fields. Maybe it's another offensive lineman, really strong defensive line and edge draft early on. Maybe they go there. Ashton Jeanty, if he's available at pick number 7, that would certainly be a possibility as well. Is it a little early for tight end? Could be potentially in the mix as well for the Jets. Expect them to build around Justin Fields rather than try to replace him in the draft. That's the point that I've been trying to make about Justin Fields and the New York Jets' plans in the NFL draft. I fully believe that they are going to give Justin Fields the opportunity this year to earn the long-time starter role. Now, am I saying that's the most likely outcome of this 2025 season? No, I don't think it's the most likely outcome. I think the most likely outcome is them taking a quarterback early in the draft next year. But they are rather holding on to this flyer, this chance of something clicking and working for Justin Fields. You've heard me run through the names before, but I'll do it again. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, 3 guys come to mind who had, mid to late career resurgence on their third or fourth different team in the NFL. There's a chance that maybe that happens with Justin Fields if the circumstance around him is good. Now, you could also give me the argument that, no, the Jets shouldn't take a quarterback in round 1, but there's no reason they can't insert your favorite mid-round quarterback option, whether it's like Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe in the second round, trading back into the first round for one of those guys, taking a mid-round swing on a Will Howard or Riley Leonard or whoever else, Tyler Shuck, whoever you like, on day 2 or day 3 in the draft. Sure, I guess in theory, yes, they could do that. It would be really dependent, I think, on how the staff feels about Jordan Travis in sort of that role. And if they would rather get their own young quarterback, dart throw on day 2 or 3 and have them be a part of this organization. But I truly believe, and Ian's quotes kind of back this up, that the Jets are going to try to build out the roster with this draft. And we've gone through it a ton, guys. They have a lot of needs that they need to hit in the draft. Looking for starters at right tackle, tight end, wide receiver 2, strong safety, could use some depth on the interior defensive line for sure, could use some more help at edge, maybe linebacker. There's a ton of different directions that the Jets could go in this draft, but they only have 3 picks in the first 3 rounds, which they have 1 pick in each round. That's normal. That's okay. But the point being, there's only so many shots towards the top of the draft that you could take. And you have to decide, what positions am I going to prioritize? Is it one of the 8 that I just listed off? And if so, which ones? That's why I'm having a hard time thinking that there's likely going to be a quarterback drafted. I think the Jets are going to use, honestly, picks in their first 4 rounds, trying to fill some needs and trying to fill guys who can come in and contribute right away. Sure, maybe it's unfair to say, hey, you were drafted in the 4th round, go start and play 80% of snaps. That's not going to happen, but can you find contributors on day 2 and early day 3? Those have been my favorite Jets draft classes. I know we talk a lot about the 2022 NFL draft class, and sure, at the top, it's really impressive. But the draft class that I'm going back to that I'd like to see something similar happen is 2006. In the 2006 draft class, you land 2 cornerstone players in D'Brickashaw Ferguson and Nick Mangold, but then you also find some quality depth / role players like Leon Washington, like Brad Smith, like Eric Smith, like Drew Coleman, and you just go right down the line. And Sure, some of those guys that I listed off outside the top two, like top two are great, Ring of Honor Jets, but the rest of that crop that I listed there were really key contributors on some good football teams. Jets made the playoffs in 2006. Jets had a winning record in 2008. Jets made the playoffs in 09 and 10. And a lot of those guys that I just mentioned were parts of that. And not the most important focal point, right? But you need role players and solid depth to build out your roster. And the Jets seem to get, more often than not, frankly, nothing out of anyone not taken in the first round. More often than not. There's exceptions to the rule always, but this has got to be a draft where they fill out the rest of their roster. Let me know your thoughts on the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time.